Okay, we've prepped our leather. Now what we're going to do is we're going to need this packing tape again. All right. Now remember, this is anything, or this is something you can buy at Walmart or Dollar General, just about anywhere. It doesn't have to be Scotch. The objective is make sure it's a slick packing tape. If it's got the reinforcement braid in it, you don't want that because you can't do anything with it. I wouldn't even recommend putting it on the back because it's going to create some ridges for you. This is the best stuff that I've found so far. Now, we've got our pattern. If you don't have this pattern, I'm going to try to put it on Facebook. If not, get a hold of me and I can email you. I've got it in a PDF. It's called the Torn Lily. It's not a perfect pattern. It's one I put together hoping that it would work a little bit better, and it has. The Torn Lily here in the middle, it looks pretty good on a drawing, but I haven't mastered it in the leather yet. So anyway, what we're going to do is once we've got our pattern, okay, yeah, this one will work. We'll go ahead and use this one. This is Don's pattern. What he's done is he's taken and printed this drawing off, and he's put the packing tape on both sides. What that's going to do is allow you to put this right on top of a piece of leather that's moist, and it won't separate. It's also going to allow you to use it time and time again. I would recommend putting on the top side and on the bottom side. Now, the most important thing here to make this easier is as you lay a piece of tape, you need to put them right next to each other and not overlap. If you overlap right here, it's not going to hurt anything. It's just going to create a bump when you're tracing things off, okay? We're trying to make this pattern as smooth as possible. The closer to exact you have your pattern when you trace it to leather, the better the job's going to be, okay? The mistakes that you make right here, you're going to have to correct with the knife, and sometimes that's not as easy to do. If everything's right there in front of you like it's supposed to be, it's so much easier to follow the lines. So what we're going to do, we've got our leather prep. We've prepped our pattern, we've printed it off, we've taped it off, okay? What we're going to do is I'm not going to do this whole pattern, which it would fit, but I'm just going to do this leaf right here, okay? So if you've got this exact pattern, we're going to call the Torn Lily is going to be the one in the middle. Use the open leaf, okay? That's what we're going to do for starters. So you're going to put it down, and I've got to find here, you're going to need, I'm a little out of sequence here, but a thumbtack. Now this is an extremely large thumbtack. It doesn't have to be this big, but you'll get the idea. I'm going to take 2 thumbtacks. I'm going to measure my leather, or get my pattern placed on my leather, where I want it. All I'm going to do is push through my tape outside of my pattern, okay? So I'm going to make sure when I push this tack in that I'm not poking a hole in the piece or the part of the leather that I'm going to use. All right. I've got that secured, and what's going to happen is, if that goes in there, is that's going to allow me to hold everything in place, and if for some reason I lose my pattern, I can always realign my holes and go back to it, and it's going to allow me to look. Now once you've got that, find you a really good ballpoint pen, preferably one that's already run out of ink. Works really good. I use a stylus that I've purchased. This right here is you don't have to waste money on this. This was one of those things that I just thought I had to have, and it's not necessary. An ink pen, good quality ballpoint ink pen, works just as good, and it's a lot cheaper. Okay, so what we're going to do, we've got our pattern right here. It's drawn off, it's taped off. Now I'm just going to take and follow my lines, and I'm going to try to follow these lines as exact as I can, okay? Because maybe not right now, but as you get into your Sheridan style of carving or whatever, the real intricate carvings, to be off of your line could totally mess up the whole pattern. So we're going to take and follow this right here. We're going to trace it off. Okay, what I recommend doing is going from a line, what works for me, and this is just an idiosyncrasy that you can change yourself, is I try to come from a stopping point to an open line, because this is the way I'm going to cut it. This is the way I want to trace it. And the only reason I can really give you is you end in the right spot. One of the things that we're going to go over once we get ready to do the cut video is where we're going to end this cut. There's always a start and there's always a finish for every cut. It's very important that you understand that, where those are. Now you can stop this anywhere you want. Okay, our main focus is this flower right here. And I'm going to try to trace this as fast as I can and follow the lines. I'm trying to not be hypocritical and tell you what needs to happen and then not demonstrate it. And if you notice, this tape that I was telling you is not, Don didn't get it touching. So what happens is this stylus falls off in that tape groove and it kind of distorts my pattern just a little bit. Alright, there we go. Okay, so I'm 7 minutes into this. I'm going to go ahead and bail. You guys, I'll just show you what happens is once you trace that with that wet leather, it goes right over to the pattern right where it needs to be. Secret is don't move your pattern. Once you start working on it, hold that pattern in place. My little pen right here didn't hold up like it was supposed to, but you get the idea. I'm kind of in a hurry here trying to cram all this in one video. So anyway, get ready, download the next video, and we're going to start cutting. So be right back.